Hi all. Right, back with more Labyrinth, playing the extended campaign. So this is part 39. So another day going by. Um, yeah, still struggling away, I guess. We've got one card left. They've got three, was it? It's going to be their turn. Um, yeah, I can't really remember all what's happened there. I just double checked on. Yeah, because I'm watching videos back. I think I've got part 32 released, is it? And this is what, 39, so I've still got stuff to watch back. I'm travelling back and forth in the train to work the next few days, so hopefully I'll catch up a bit there. So 2 or 3 comments. Uh, both Jean. Remember, I'd said that Hammer had commented on the fact that the withdrawal operation. He believed that it was, although not in the rules, it was stated in errata or somewhere that the troops had to go back to the track. Well, I mean, yeah, there's nothing in the rules that says that, but I mean, I said I would look more into it and find out if there's an errata or not. But I think he's got it wrong. In fact, I think he has admitted to that because John sort of challenged them as to, where is this said? Can you share a reference to the frequently asked questions regarding withdrawing being limited to the troop track? And then Hammers also replied to that. It says, looking back, it seems you're correct. A withdrawal does not need to be targeting the troops track. So whatever the frequently asked question he was looking at was whether he was got something wrong within it or not. So I believe that isn't the case, right? Because Tim also challenged that. He says, I disagree. Deploy and withdraw are not different types of operations. Withdraw is a special type of deploy, but it's still a deploy operation. Now, but the interesting thing is that Tim also adds here, also, I don't see anything that definitively states that you have to declare the type of operation you're going to perform before triggering the event. Now, I think Hamler had also mentioned this. Yeah, maybe it's the app's convenience, but you could change your operations whenever after resolving a card. The rule is also kind of unclear too. It has me thinking that maybe it's the event itself that you could be blocked rather than the operations itself, like disrupting, etc. I could of course be wrong though. So I don't know if John's got any thoughts on what's been said about that, because it was him that brought this up. About, well, when he said I cheated because I didn't select my operation, then went and carried the event, and then decided on what operation. I mean, to be honest, I thought he was right. When I looked at the rulebook, it seems that it does say that you've got to select your operation, but looking back on it again after these guys have commented, it isn't really crystal clear. So maybe that's something we need to look more into and find out for sure, because that's quite a big one. I mean, if you do get to decide, if you don't have to decide before the event's completely taken care of, then it could change your thinking. So that's quite an important rule to know one way or the other. So yeah, John's not commented on any of the both Hamler's suggestion of that and Tim's suggestion of that, so I don't know, and it's going to be a while before he sees this bit because like I say, we're a way ahead. So I tried to I pinned my comment. What I done was I created it as my header, as I usually do. This was for part 32, and then I copied and pasted a comment from the header into the comment section and then pinned that. So I think that's what you mean, guys. Somebody gave it a like. In fact, no, I've got 2 likes to it. So maybe that's better for everybody. So I'll probably do that now. I don't know if it's stupid me having it in the header and having it pinned in the comments. Is that daft? Should I just have it pinned in the comments? I don't know. I'll leave that one there with you. I mean, I don't think it does any harm, but and that sort of it shows up in the header when I'm looking at my videos as well. So I'll probably keep doing it that way unless you guys say that no, don't bother putting the header at all. It's not doing any good at all, or it's daft. Just put it, do what you've done there. Yeah. So my comments from part that were pinned in the comment section at the 40-minute mark. You can't disrupt an Islamic show country, Grant, because I knew somebody was going to pull me up for this, and like I say, I like to catch my own mistakes if I can, and I didn't do it, but I was talking about it. Both these things I was talking about. Yeah, I was talking about trying to disrupt down here when Somalia went, and we still had the troops here. Remember, I realised that later. In fact, did I not bring it up and bring the rule book out and say the only thing you can do in an Islamic country is regime change? So I was talking about doing it, but so I've put that in there as well. And then 49 minutes 25 seconds was me talking about this situation here, which we later found out as well. We later looked into it, but again, I suppose I'm just putting it there because generally folk are leaving comments there when I'm talking about something saying, no, you can do that. And then I find out later, but so I guess I should start putting my comments in when I see that it's, I'm speaking about it wrong. This, at the end of the next turn, this will go like that if nothing changes. The end of the next turn, this will go like that, and then they'll go away. So, I mean, we know this is a bad situation, you know. So, right. So I've just had a comment come in from Hamler on part 32. No timestamp. He's talking about my hand. He says your hand is insanely good for this situation. Yeah, it was good because it had the status quo card, the Tahrir Square card, and what did Grant have to do with them? I mean, I don't know. You're obviously not seen this back yet, Amar, but I changed my posture again back to hard because if I don't, I am, even though I'm saying that if they get 6 resources, I'm probably going to carry on with the game and do the optional rule where Atsem scored 1 point and then out of a possible 3, and for us, to be honest, it's only really 2 points. Whether I consider adding in the 3rd point for removing all the cells off the map, I might do that. It sounds like you're just making the game up as you go along, Grant. But I still want to try and avoid them getting to 6 resources, and this is what's tying me up. But bear in mind, if I wasn't playing that optional rule, I would have to concentrate on these 6 resources going. So, I mean, I guess I only spoke about doing the optional rule thing because I thought I was sure we were going to lose to six Islamist resources. Fortunately, we managed to just keep away from that. But I think that turn where I did have a good hand, yeah, I enjoyed looking at the cards. And unfortunately, I had to use them for other things. I had to use them to go back to hard, to do a regime change, because if I recall, I only had 2 3-ops cards. I think you made me mention that in your comment. Yeah, the only downside I can see is that you have so many good event cards and not many cards for using ops. Yeah, and that's the problem. I had to end up using them for ops. I mean, I was gutted to have to use that status quo card. But I think if I didn't use it, I think the game would be over. Am I not right in saying that's the case? We're going back to part 32, so... it's a good bit back. I can't recall the things happened. Somalia did get Islamist resource. Pakistan was Islamist resource. In fact, was it not Pakistan we took right now? So, if they didn't have Pakistan, well, I don't know. They're only sitting on 2 resources right now, which is from Syria. So I don't know. I'd need to look back on the part and maybe, well, that'll be part 33, you want to Grant, which is probably what I'm watching right now. I'm watching back that. Maybe that might show me that if I hadn't done what I'd done, I would have lost the game. It might show me the opposite. It might show me that I would have got away with it, but I felt like I had to do what I had to do. But you can see for yourself when it comes. Well, if you're watching this one, you've probably already watched it. But yeah, it was pretty rough to try and take that. Yeah, sorry, coming back here, a couple of comments from Tim, which I forgot about. It says, remember you can disrupt the cadre markers to gain prestige as well, Grant. You know, there's a cadre in Pakistan, and I mean, that threatens more cells coming in there. But you can disrupt this and get prestige. Just as I can do it in Egypt here as well. There's something I forgot about before, and I forgot about there again. And then at the 40-minute, this is from part 30 actually, at the 40-minute mark he says, 12.3.6 answers your question. Yeah, I want to get this one out. Says the bot always plays reaction markers when given a choice. It will never voluntarily place awakening markers. 12.36. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I read this. This was the bit I was reading, wasn't it? When given an option to place or remove markers, Jad's bot always places reaction markers, then removes awakening markers. Placing reaction markers, removing or replacing awakening. Jad's bot uses... Where does it say they will never place? It will never voluntarily place awakening markers. Is it there? That's a bit... I mean, to be honest, I thought I'd read that somewhere as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you're wrong with that, because it's stupid. It would never do that. It's not written in that bit, is it? Well, you've got a word here that will never voluntarily place awakening markers, and I get the feeling that's how it's written. It just... Yeah, it must be there, but that's fine. He says that means the event will have no effect and is therefore deemed unplayable. So let me just see where we're at there. Yeah, I seen the event was playable. I don't think it's just they finished it with that means the event will have no effect and is therefore deemed unplayable. And I think I played the event, but I was only talking about what if this. I don't think we made a mistake there. I guess I was just leaving questions there. And his timestamp's fine. It's just, I would need to watch it through again. So I think that's okay, right? I think that was that for now. But we will see. Maybe I might have missed stuff. Who knows? Right. Let's get a bit of gameplay then. I've only got a little bit of time, to be honest. So I'll leave that charging there. Okay, yeah, they've got 3 cards left. You've got 1 that we're just going to discard. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to roll you as posture. Yeah, I'm just going to discard that. So let's see what they're going to do. Well, we think, unless it's some event, we think they're going to do a major jihad here, aren't we? Back in Somalia again. They've got 8-9 cells to our 2 troops. It's got a Baziz regime, so I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. I mean, Somalia has only 1 resource, so... Right, here we go. Let's get going. Right, censorship. Well, it might be an event. It's a jihadist card, anyway. I don't think I've got awakening markers, though. So remove up to 2 awakening markers from a single country. Blocks the play of Facebook until the next play of smartphones. Censorship. 175. I mean, there's no awakening markers out there. There's nothing about... There's nothing in the instructions. I think that's probably unplayable, isn't it? Well, I don't know. I asked... I left a question in the video recently about a card that, if it couldn't do the first bit, was it still playable because it marked and blocked an event? So this is needing... I need to know the answer to that question now, really, don't I? Because there's no awakening markers out there, I don't believe. No. They're all reaction markers. However, it would block the play of Facebook until the next play of smartphones. Is that enough to make this playable? The thing is, we know Facebook's went back. Well, unless there's more than one Facebook card, of course, that is possible. There's more than one smartphone's card, so there might be. I'm probably stuck now, though, because I don't know if that's... I mean, it is doing something. What's the card called? Censorship. I can't find it. There was another one recently I couldn't find as well, but it didn't turn out to be played in the end anyway. I can't find that. It blocks the play of Facebook until the next play of smartphones. It's called censorship. Unless it's been left in the tray somewhere. I mean, I've got another bunch of markers here, but these are for the Forever War thing. Unless I muddled some of them up. Right, give me a second. Well, I see you probably knew what it was, because we've got this event already in play. The smartphones was played, which allows Facebook, but on the back of that, there's censorship, which blocks Facebook. So if this was played, this would flip this to this, and then until the next play, smartphones played again, this would flip back to that, allowing Facebook again. So this does do that. So I'm not sure. Surely somebody must have asked this then. I mean, this could be even relevant to the base game. It's a bot thing though, remember? It needs to... I mean, when it says... You know, we've read this bit before many a time about if the bot doesn't do anything, where are we? It's when playing the card, isn't it? Is it not an event or ops here? Somewhere over here. When cards are played, if the card's event... Right, if executing a playable event, because this is a playable event, remember that got brought to my attention. There's nothing that says play if, you know, it's not a condition. There's not a condition for that. Well, there's not a condition. It says remove up to 2 awakening markers. Well, up to 2 is 0, you know, so you could still play this. It's a playable event. And then it would block the next play of Facebook by putting this marker with censorship in play. So technically it does do that. So this says, if executing a playable event would have no effect, the event is deemed unplayable. Well, I don't know if that's no effect or not. I mean, I'd quite like them to just flip that smartphone's event marker over to censorship, because I know that Facebook went by and I'm not really caring about that. But obviously I want to know if I'm doing that right or not. So let's go and visit BGG for this one. Okay, so I'm trying to hunt through BGG to try and find this, the answer I need here, and I'm struggling to find anything, and it feels like it's a daft question. Although, Grant's decided to put that question out there, so to make himself look daft. Because surely this event still does something. But I don't, you know, I feel unsure. I feel uncomfortable about, you know, if the cards, right, hang on. Here we go. Let's look more at that. But if the card's event is playable, 6.2.6, right? Okay. 6.2.6. I think just sort of because there's been a few times I've said a card isn't playable and I've been corrected to say that it is playable, but it doesn't do anything. So 6.2.6. So playable. Many cards have events with preconditions for play in grey text. Now it's slightly different in the new cards. They've got it sort of slightly bolder, but anyway, it's the same thing. Like play if such and such, you know. If the preconditions are not met, these cards cannot be played as events. And then similarly, blocked events are not playable. Well, no, censorship's not blocked. Was it kind of strange? No, maybe not strange. No, because I've got smartphones in play, which allows Facebook. This blocks the play of Facebook until the next smartphones are played. So, yeah. So anyway, coming back here. So that was, if the card's event is playable, there's no grey text, there's no precondition, so yes, and not US associated, it's not, it's a jihadist card, play the event. 6.2. To the maximum extent possible and refer to the event instructions table for any additional instructions. There's nothing in the event instructions table. And then the exception there is, if executing a playable event would have no effect, the event is deemed unplayable. So why do I need to go and look for that? Why do you need to go and look for that, Grant? This has an effect. It blocks the play of Facebook. That's what you're all telling me right now, aren't you? Even though I can't hear you. You're telling me that this has an effect. I think that's what you're telling me. I still feel slightly uncomfortable about playing it, and I don't want to spoil the game because, you know, I've kept this as error-free as I think it's been a really decent playthrough regarding errors, you know. And even the one that Jean has said you cheated there, might actually come that it's not true. Well, I'd like to dive more into that. So and to be honest, yeah, I would allow myself that one anyway, you know. But it wasn't that it was a major kind of thing. And though I think I want to say the probably the worst mistake I made was to hit my prestige that time with the plot, the WMD plot, and there was no troops there, and that was my bad. So that was a blunder, but at least it was a blunder on my side. It's not, you know, it's not ideal. I know, it's not great, but it's not that the bot missed out on something. I don't think, anyway. I missed out on something, you know. So I feel reluctant to move on until I just get somebody to tell me, yeah, you're being daft, Grant. That clearly does something. But somebody might, there might be something that stops that. You know, it's not playing any awakening markers. It's not doing anything. Well, that's rubbish, Grant. It is doing something on the card. It's blocking the play of Facebook. So... But I don't know, I've never come across this before. I think I mentioned it in a previous part about what if there was no awakening markers to remove. My question was, you know, in this case, I think it was something like that. It was something similar to this card. And I says, well, this does actually do this still, so is that still considered playable? And it's quite important right now, because if it is playable, that marker gets flipped, and I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to get as a reply. You know, the marker is up there in the events in play. Smartphones allows Facebook. That censorship gets played. That gets flipped over to that. Censorship blocks Facebook until the next smartphones, which I'd probably leave that card handy in case we needed to flip it back over if another smartphones got played. So, but I don't know. Sometimes I still feel the need to ask the question, even if it might be daft. You know, possibly, does that count as being enough to make it playable? I mean, I still think it does, Grant, doesn't it? Problem is, I'm now stuck here 25 minutes in and, you know, either going to have to wait on an answer or just decide that has an effect and do that. Because if it's not playable, uses the 2 ops, it's got 1 in reserve, uses the 3 ops, does a major jihad attempt in Somalia, which is more than likely going to succeed. Only needs 1 success out of the 3 dice, so. But I just want to be sure, I suppose. Which now means that I can't carry on until I get that answer, but which is a shame. Yeah, I can't move on until I decide if it's playable or not. We're back to complete this turn. 39, part 39, I think. Okay. Bit rushed, probably don't have much time. Thought I might try and just finish this part if I can, but I'm not so sure will. So, I had to leave things last night. It was a bit unfortunate because I still had half an hour or something. I could have finished this part. With me stuck at the question of, is censorship doing anything? I mean, I felt like it was a daft question because it does block the play of Facebook, which feels like it does do something. It's just it doesn't do anything else. There's no awakening markers to remove. And so I went and asked a question on BGG. Now this may be a daft question, but if playing an event would only mark and block another event, does this satisfy the above? Which is, if executing a playable event would have no effect, the event is deemed unplayable, and allow the playing of such event. The only response I got was from Jean, who said I think so. So maybe he's not 100% sure, but he quotes me the rule, which I will show you now, 6.2.4, and I think this is good enough for me as well. And yeah, to be honest, I don't think I needed to ask a question, but I mean, he is saying he thinks so. It's not a straight up like yes. So 6.2.4 says, when an event occurs, I mean, this isn't answering my question as such, but it makes sort of, leads towards the answer, I think. When an event occurs, implement whatever aspects apply, including mark and remove, even if other aspects do not. Well, let's check this wee example here as well. I never looked at that. US player of Ansar al-Islam card for operations triggers the event, but there are no cells on the funding track. No cell is placed, but the card is removed from the game. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I would have got that, I think. Yeah, it's slightly different what we're asking here, isn't it? Anyway, he finishes with, deemed unplayable would be considered only if no aspects apply. I mean, there is an aspect that applies here. They're going to mark censorship and block Facebook. So, yeah, I was good with that. I thought, nice, thanks for the rules reference. I think that's good enough for me. Like I say, I did feel like I really didn't need to go and ask the question anyway, but it just felt like, So that's only reply I've had. So, if I want to move on, I've got to make a decision for myself on that. That suggests that he is saying that this card is playable. I feel this card is playable. Weak, but playable. But we've already said, let them play weak things. Do you see what's going on out here, Grant? Let them play the weakest things that they can. This is horrible. This is too resources for them. And it's going to happen. Not at the end of this turn, but at the end of the next turn. And I very much doubt that there's anything I'm going to do to stop that. I got pushed back to soft again, which I cringed a bit at first, then thought, you know what, it's maybe not so bad. I just like, yeah, they've got this cell in Iraq, which they're probably going to work on next. That's just, they don't need to bother about that. That's just going to sit there and become Islamist rule. And our 2 resources, what are they sitting at? They're sitting at only 2. How is that then? Ah, yeah, come on. They're about to get another 1 here, Grant. And then that's eventually going to become another 2 while they're working on Iraq, is my guess. It's just horrible. It's just hopeless. Plus now we've now got a cell in the United States, which I decided to say, look, I'm ignoring this. I'm going to leave this just now. Whether that was right or not, comment from Hamler. I'm not looking at anything written down here. So the fact that he commented on my hand being a really good hand, I don't think that was this hand. I think it was a previous hand. And I had the status quo card. That's ringing a bell. Really good card. What did I have to do with it? I had to use it for a 3-ops card to change my posture again. And the other cards I just had to use. I wasn't able to play them for events. And yeah, I feel like because I'm so down here and they're above me, I think I'm just going to struggle throughout this. A quick Hammer just made a comment regarding what he feels like I'm thinking about doing, because I think he feels like they're eventually going to get these 6 resources. What are you going to do? And I think he's suggesting that I would maybe be better, like, start playing an Awakening game, maybe as a campaign that uses Awakening and moves on to Forever War. Can you do that? I'm not sure. I mean, it's just campaign and an extended campaign, so I don't know if you can start from I dare say you could start from Forever War with the base setup. Awakening with the base setup, and then move on to Forever War. I'm not sure, but it might be better because I think we're just going to be on the back foot here all the time. I want to try and persevere, but this, like I say, is horrible. They've got reaction. Yeah, and I can see that as soon as a country gets more than 1 marker, that country is game over. And not just for them. If we had 2 Awakening markers out there, they're going to have to do something about that, or we're taking that country. But unfortunately, we've not got any Awakening markers out there. They've got 1 reaction marker here, 1 here, 3 here. I mean, they had another 2 in there, which was just a breeze for them to take over that. And to be honest, if they hadn't taken over that, they had 2 reaction markers there, which was just going to do the same as this. To be honest, if you were the player, you probably said, oh, I'll just let that sit with 2 reaction markers and let it bubble away. And maybe go for Iraq instead. Well, there's only 1 reaction marker there, which helps with their jihad. It's just rough. It's rough. Okay, and yeah, apart from the comment that Hammer's just made, which I haven't read through, he had commented somewhere else, part 33 or 32 somewhere, it's really bad. Things are really bad. So yeah, it feels that way. We're still here, and this is what part 39. So you'll eventually just get to see me sort of struggling along here, yeah. Now, there was one thing that came up that I said I was going to talk about part 30. Oh no, I was going to fix in part 39. And it was probably better on my phone, because I do take notes on my phone. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, this was in part 34. That's as much as I've watched back. So again, you guys are not even up to date with what's going on right now, because this is part 39. So at the 17.5 minute mark, I've commented that I forgot to implement the special part of critical middle, which I will fix in part 39. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, there's 13 more cards in the discard pile here. I mean, it's really not that relevant, I don't think, this. But I forgot about the special bit. Let's say we played this for our ops. But it does say after playing or discarding. So it doesn't matter how this gets played, if it's for ops, if it's for event, or if it's discarded. That's my take on that after playing or discarding. Place this card face down in the approximate middle of the draw pile. So I'm going to go and do that now, trying to imagine that there's still 12 cards on top here. So I'm going to put it in the, what does that mean, in the higher half. So I'm just going to split it in there. It's sort of just above half-ish. Yeah, that looks about right. I know you're not seeing that, but I'm putting that in the middle of the deck. Just around about the middle of the deck. And it did just say approximately the middle. It didn't ask you to count cards out. It's not that important. So anyway, yeah, something to watch for. Make sure you... I don't think we had any cards like that in the base game, so it's just changing things up a bit. The only other comment I've got here is... Right, let's see if I can find that card so that we know what we're talking about. Maybe that one? No. This was played. Or could have been removed. That's a problem. The card's removed. It wasn't Hegel. No, it's none of these removed cards. Okay, so... What the heck is it then? Right, wait till... Pause a second. Yeah, it was this card here, and I was going to just leave it. Somebody was probably going to tell me. And to be honest, I might still have this wrong. Whenever fractions get talked about, I like run away. And I mean, I'm probably not that terrible with these things, but odds of stuff and... Right, hang on. Right, I'm not sure where I was at there. I've been on pause for quite some time. I got dragged away. I've got a bunch of cards lying here. Okay, yeah. I was talking about this card. Yeah, this was a comment I left in the header. Well, I'm actually now pinning it into the comment section as well. 48 minutes, 30 seconds. Now it says -1 for every 4 reaction -1 proceeds for every 4 reaction markers or fraction thereof. And while I was watching it back, I thought, so there was 6 at the time, maybe it still is, there were 6 reaction markers, and I concluded that, well, 4, you would get -1 for 4 of them, but the other 2, is that not a fraction thereof of 4? So my guess is it would probably have -2, so that's what I've left in the comment, thinking it might be -2 for the 6. Obviously, if there was 8, it'd still be -2. If there was 9, I think it'd be -3. But let me know if I'm also getting that wrong as well. But that's my thinking of it. Fraction thereof. Sounds like that. Right, where am I going here? Put these cards back. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I was talking about. Sorry, I've come back at a bit where I'm not really sure where I'm at, to be honest. And I might well get called away here again shortly. It's just, yeah, okay. Right, okay, I can remember where we're at then, because we were playing the first card. They should have 3 cards left, yeah. So that's their first card play of this phase, and it was censorship. And yeah, I'm going to go with... The only reply I got was Jean saying that, yeah, he thinks so, he believes that that's still playable, and we wouldn't sort of chuck that away and say, let's play it for 2 ops. There's not any awakening markers in play, and you can see they have to come from the same country as well, up to 2 though, so, but there's not any, but then it blocks the play of Facebook until the next play of smartphones. Right, and as it happens, we've got smartphones already in play, which allows Facebook, so now we're going to flip that over to censorship and block Facebook, and that's going to be there. And then until we play another Smartphones, I want to say we've seen 2 of them. Whether we've seen 3, I think there is 3 of them, isn't there? Thing is, I'm not so sure there's any more than one Facebook, but I may be wrong. So yeah, that card's played, and now it's marked. That's there, and I don't think I need to leave that card hanging about. It's fine. But anyway, that was just the first card play, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm looking down. I'm still seeing the poor Somalia with many more cells than troops, waiting to do a major jihad there. Yeah, I was just reading back on Hammer's comment. It seems he's saying that you can play a scenario with Awakening and Forever War. So I'm starting to think that way, because there's only so long I can try and stop this. They're eventually going to... I mean, maybe it's the type of game you get to a point where you're not going to recover and you're just delaying the inevitable. I suppose there's a lot of games like that, aren't there? You just want to throw the towel in, but I'm sort of determined to try and keep it going if I can. Okay, so first card play, let's see their second card play. There's a US card, and it is... Then more than likely Somalia's going Islamist rule. So 2 ops, I'm looking up there, they've got 1 in reserves as well. And you can see there's a bunch of 4s, 8, 9 to 2, so there's 5 more cells and troops, okay? Right, but let's do it by the book. Is it a playable non-US event? No. Is Major Jihad success at poor possible? Yes. Let's do Major Jihad then. There's nowhere else it's possible. No, there's not. So we're going to do a Major Jihad here, right? Okay, there's no reaction markers, but there's a besieged regime marker, so that means they only need 1 success. The card was 2 ops, so it might have been nice if they didn't have a reserve, but they do, so they're going to take that reserve, and they're going to have 3 attempts. So 3 dice. Hold on. Right, yeah, so 3 attempts, 3 dice. They've got besiege regime. Country's poor, obviously. No reaction markers, so they need 3s or less, but they only need 1 success to go with the besiege regime. That's possible though. So, here we go. Oh, how about it? Right, no reaction markers. They're all failures. Right, just double checking here. It was 3. Yeah, they used the reserve. Oh, right. I maybe jumped ahead. But it's fine. Well, I didn't activate all the cells, did I? So... non-Islamist rule with 5 more cells and troops. Yes. All cells in target country go active, so these 5 should be active as well. All 9 should be active, but I'm just going to turn 2 more over here. Whoops. The good thing about that is they've now only got 6, so these 3 would have been active as well, but they're all 3 failures, so all these are going back to the track. I mean, yeah, they've got all recruit in the country, but so they 2 go to there and that goes to there, right? Okay. Yeah, it definitely was all failures. If, like I say, if there'd been a reaction marker there, they 4s would have been 3s, which would have been successes. They only needed 1 success with that. So, if 3 rolls at poor failed to shift the country to the Islamist rule, shift it 1. Oh. I'll tell you what. It's a shame that wasn't neutral. And going to ally. Why, Grant? Why? What's the problem there? You've got 2 troops there. I guess I just assumed this was going... Why? How did that become... We didn't. Was this the country we? No. There was a card recently where we were able to remove Islamist rule, wasn't there? I'm struggling to keep up with things here. I mean, I know that status quo was a good card, but we weren't able to use that. Was there something... I mean, Somalia, how did we take Somalia? Because there's only 2 troops in there. My head's getting all a mess with all this, I think. I'm going back here trying to find something. I'm just looking at the names of the cards thinking that something might jump out to me. Somalia was Islamist rule, wasn't it? Civil war. It's a civil war thing. Yeah, that's it. Was it maybe a card that got removed? I guess I'm just wondering why there's 2 troops there. It's pure adversity. Was it the sequestration? No. Sorry, no, it's not a real test and no. Right, it's not a remove from play card. So, I think it was the one that put the Civil War down. Was it not? Or am I just making that up? Well, I'm going to go and pause, find it. Right, I've got this card. Play if 1 resource value country, Somalia, could be, has 2 or more cells. Place a civil war and Baziz regime marker there. Hang on. Placing the civil war marker, does that remove the Islamist rule? It does. That's it. Okay. If I look up... Yeah, sorry. I'm just like... retaining all this stuff is difficult for me. I think I'm getting worse. So if I look up civil war... In fact, there's no back of the player age. Surely civil war will tell me here. Civil war. When a civil war is triggered, perform the following. If good governance, make fair. If Islamist rule, make poor. That was it. That's how Somalia went back to where it did. And there's still the 2 troops. Because I remember making the blunder thinking that while this was Islamist rule, that I could still disrupt it. And I had to leave a comment about that because that was daft. But now they can, while it's poor, and well, I just assumed this was going to go Islamist rule, the fact they only needed 1 success. But not only that, it's going to move to neutral. I mean, I'm not quite sure if that's helping me or not. But because it's failed, 8.4.2, I'd like to see it in the rules. Oh, my rulebook's falling apart, the staples are coming out. Is that signing a good well, is that signing a good game or a good rulebook? I don't know. The fact you're looking through the rules all the time, I think it's maybe just me signing a grant playing a game. So each successful remove, right, probably another page. Yeah, failed. Major jihad failure. Whenever the jihadists roll 3 dice, which we did, at poor and fail to shift to Islamist rule, place a Baziz regime marker in the country. If one is not already there, well, there is one already there, and shift the country's alignment 1 box towards ally. Now, I'm shifting this. Somebody might, I don't think they will, but somebody might say, and I think it's just, Grant, this is what you're thinking, that because I'm not able to place a Baziz regime, I maybe wouldn't shift it, because it's place that and do that. I guess I just think of the things as they need to go together. You need to do this and that. And if you can't do this, maybe you can't do that. See, I think that's what goes on in my head. It's all wrong, isn't it? I'm going with that anyway. I'm going to shift it once. I can't place a disease regime. And we've had a result there, for sure. I mean, we've still got so much work to do and things. So that wasn't played for event. That was played for event, but it's been marked. And that's fine. I'm just going to discard the card. Because I've got the event marker up there. So 24 minutes, I think I had 25-ish. So I think we're about 50 minutes here at the moment. That was their 2 cards, they got 1 left. Well, we're just ditching this. I mean, I don't sort of feel the urge to play it, do I? I'm sure I could do something with the 2 ops, but I don't want to roll the posture. We've been pushed to soft. Or do I? No, I don't. I don't. I probably want to try and disrupt some of this. But then again, they're going to go... Well, they've only got 1 card left. Yeah, but they start the turn. And the 6 sells to 2 troops, so they've got to get another cell in there at least. Which maybe that card will do. Right, I'm just going to discard this card. To end my turn. And let's see what their card does. Right, it's another 2 US card. Did I show the event, the censorship one? I think I did I? I might not have. Card 175, I think it is. Okay, if I remember, we'll try and have a look at that. Because I wasn't sure if it was going to be playable or not. I'll try and show that a bit later, but let's get this part finished, because, yeah. Okay, so it's another 2 ops. They don't have any reserves this time, though. Oh, no, I forgot. They're not going to do Major Jihad, are they? So, let's see what they are going to do. Right. Playable non-US event, no Major Jihad success at poor possible. Not quite. 6 to 2, they need 1 more. Funded tight, no. Selling good or fair Muslim, no. Just looking around there though, we've got some sales spread about a bit. And see, we've got one in Nigeria. Can't recall that one at all, but it was only last night as well, I think. Italy, yeah, fair enough. And then the United States one, which is active, which is another thing we want to do something about, but so no sales in good or fair Muslim, yeah? No, just in poor Muslim, that's Islamist rule, so no. Poor Muslim will 1 to 4 more sales than troops and militia, where jihad success is possible. Yes. Interesting. Somalia's not adjacent to Nigeria, is it? Or is it? Yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting these are mat separate. Well, it tells you what they're adjacent to. Somalia is not one of them. Sudan, yeah, they're adjacent to these. That's why they're down here. And adjacent to Mali. Yeah. Yeah. So they're adjacent all round. And Mali's adjacent to... Well, you need to watch that one right enough. Mali's adjacent to Morocco, Algeria and Tunisia. And Nigeria. So that's one that could really catch you out, I think. I don't think it's been an issue though, looking at, so okay. Yeah, but what's important here is Somalia has 1 to 4 more, as poor Muslim with 1 to 4 more cells and troops, and so is Iraq. And Iraq has cells adjacent. But does it not come down to no, we've done this before. It still comes out of Somalia, doesn't it? So, poor Muslim with 1 to 4 more cells, yes. Among candidates, So we need to find out which one it is. We don't look at what's got adjacent right now. That's my belief anyway. And I'm pretty sure that's right. So we come here. There's two of them. We come down here. Not Islamist rule. Neither of them are. Not Pakistan. Well, neither of them are. Baziz regime, Somalia is. So that is the candidates, the travel to candidate. Is there a movable cell adjacent to it? No. So that becomes a no. Fund and moderate, no. Cell available, yes. Yes. There's one and then there's an extra 3 because we're in the 9 box because of the training camp. So going to recruit into Somalia. That's auto recruit as well, yeah. This is why I thought there's no way out of this. It's eventually going to happen. So how many ops? 2 ops. So they're going to automatically recruit this cell first, and then because the funding's at 9. Now, if the funding had been 8 right now, they wouldn't been able to recruit these other 3, but however, it is. So we're going to recruit these 2 cells, and they're. So that's now 8-2. So yeah, they've got a major jihad doable there, and of course they're getting to start the turn. So okay, that was the last card. That gets discarded. Let's end the turn, and probably need to get away. Okay. So end the turn. Sequence. -1 funding. Right, so now it's at 8. So while it's at 8, these can't be recruited. They can't be placed, but they can't be recruited. -1 proceeds if any countries are Islamist rule. Yes, it's just Syria at the moment. But yes, which is a yes. However, we're going to get our boost back here. So rather than go back to look, the next one is +1 prestige if global war. I don't like the way that's spoke about, but I suppose this is global war relations. It says same GMOT and at 3. We're the same as GMOT and that's at 3. So we get +1 back with prestige on that. Reserves to 0. We are at 0. They don't care, but they're at 0 as well. Return plots to available. Oh yeah, okay, there is. There's 2 plots up there. So they're coming back down, and I'm going to have to do a wee shuffle there. Let's move these training camps and start shuffling some plots around, and of course you kind of have to do that. If any of them are revealed, you've got to shuffle them up again, I suppose. Right, I've given them a wee shuffle. I'll put them back in a second. Well, I'll just do that now. Right, okay, there we are. I'll put that back. That's the plots all sorted. So 10. So we obviously didn't find another WMD, didn't I? I want to say there's 4 WMD. I was like I say, maybe I should be marking this and I don't know, putting that and putting a number 4 beside it to see how many there is. Because you could kind of forget, couldn't you? And I think you need to know if there's at least 1 WMD. Well, hold on, Grant. If there's more than 6 plots up there, it means there's a WMD, does it not? Yeah, I think it's just as simple as that. Right, okay. Anyway, moving on. So that was return plots to available, polarization and attrition. Right, okay, this is going to be naughty. So as there 3+ markers, if there is, we're going to move the alignment 1 box towards that player's side, and then if already at the edge, we're going to change the governance 1 level. Well, it's not quite there, but next turn, oops, what have I done there? Messed about with some focusy thing, I think. Right, this has got 3 reaction markers, and they don't go away, do they? They only go away when governance changes. And this can reduce to Islamist rule. So because there's 3 of these reaction markers here, this goes to adversary. Now, anywhere else where there's at least 1 or 2 markers, there's 1 reaction marker there, so nothing happens. There's 1 here, nothing happens. And that is that. Okay. But the end of next turn, that's going to be Islamist rule, and they're going to get 2 more resources. So, okay, they're sitting at 2 at the moment. 2 plus 2 is 4. However, this is more likely another 1. And then Iraq's, again, not far behind, I don't think. So, okay, that's polarisation. Right. Oh, damn, I forgot about the Civil War. Right, okay. So that was polarisation. However, we've now got attrition. Oh, this is not good. Right, so what's the number? I think the number's 6, isn't it? So we're going to lose 1 troop here anyway, at least. Right, so attrition, immediately following polarisation, check for attrition in each Civil War country. Yeah, this is the thing. If it had went Islamist rule, the Civil War was going away, but that doesn't really help us, does it? We're probably better with the Civil War than the Islamist rule. But anyway, each player counts the number of pieces in Civil War country, militia and troops for the US player, or cells for the jihadist player. Each group of 6 pieces inflicts 1 hit on the other player. For groups of 5 or less, you roll a die. If the result is less than or equal to the number of pieces, an additional hit is inflicted. Hits are resolved simultaneously. US player removes 1 militia or troop per hit. So we're definitely losing 1 troop. Oh, that's really annoying. Do we need 2 troops there to be able to do the disrupt? Oh, that's horrible. That's sore. You know, every so often I think, right, okay, I can start doing that next turn and I might be able to do a bit of that. And yeah, just always on the back foot. And jihadist player removes 2 cells per hit if any troops or advisors are present. Advisors, I don't know, it must be an event, I think. Or just 1 cell if it's militia are present. Well, we've got troops. Rolling for attrition does not make cells go active, nor do they have to be active to be taken as a loss. Attrition losses do not impact prestige in any way. Unfulfilled hits will change alignment / governance. Yeah, I need to look into the rules for that. I may open the book. Not quite sure we'll need that. 1.25 though. There's quite a big bit involved in that, isn't it? 1.25, yeah. It's a big section on attrition. Okay, let's see if we can deal with it. So, it's multiples of 6. So they've got 6 and then they've got 2. And we've just got 2. So they're going to inflict a hit on us. So 1 hour, let's just do that. There's going to be 1 hit on us, for sure. And then they're going to roll for the other 2. For each group's 5 or less, roll a die. If the result is less than or equal to the number, it'll be an additional hit. So they're going to roll 1d6, and I'm hoping they're not going to get a 1 or a 2. Okay, so they miss with that. Good. Right, so they're afflicting just 1 hit. Now we get to roll back. We are 2 needing to roll a 1 or a 2. This is where we do want a lower roll. And we get 6 as well, right? So we do nothing, and they do 1 hit. Yeah, flicks. Sorry, hits aren't exceeding the number of enemy pieces, so nothing else happens there, I don't think. Hits are resolved simultaneously. That's annoying though, because I can't. And if this had been at neutral and went to ally, we could at least deployed other troops here. So we lose a troop. Assuming that just goes back to the track, yeah. Not so good. That was their hit. Yeah. So we never even got a hit on them, because if we got a hit on them, no, I wouldn't have mattered. So I think we get 2 of their cells, but it still would have left 6-1. So the fact it's neutral, yeah, but they're going to get the first card play of the turn. So, so that was attrition. It only happens in Civil War countries. There's only the one. So that was that. Deal new cards. I will do shortly. Remove lapsing events. Right. So this is going away. But it's the next part is going to return our troop to the. Hey. Why is it not off map still? Did I? Why did they go back? I've got it back on the track, but hang on. This is a different cut. Where are you, Grant? Sorry, hang on. I'm thinking this is the one that the that the troop is off map. This is a different card. So what is this lapsing for? Well, I don't know. Let's. Oh dear. Right. This is lapsing because place 1 cell, place 2 cells. All travel to / within Schengen countries must roll as if not adjacent this turn. Right, okay. Sorry, I'm a whole turn behind there. I was thinking it was the one that had the troop in the off map box. So this is lapsed away and it's done. So that goes discard. And yeah. Then this is where I thought it says return off map troops to the track. And I was thinking, where's my troop? It's not there anymore. But that was last turn, right? So that's done. And then regime change to tan. They're both tan that are out there. Well, in fact, there's 3 of them out there are tan. That's not a good sign either. Right, so we need new hands, and then I'm going to disappear until tomorrow. Well, to be honest, things might dry up a bit over the next couple of days, and then I might get another show on Thursday. This is Monday, so yeah, it's unlikely I'm going to get much done the next 2 days, work-wise and other things. So hand-wise, they're getting 9 still, and we're getting 7 still. So another 16 cards off the top. That feels a little heavy, I think. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, and I was right. It was 2 cards heavy. So they've got 9. And I've got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, okay. Right, I better call it a night now, and yeah, things not really improved, are they? I don't know what we're gonna do. I think it might be better just letting this fail, and I think Hammer's probably right. I think that's what he's thinking as well, and the fact that when they get to 6 resources, let's not try and play on with this, because we're just probably stuff. Well, I do sort of wonder if once that pressure's off me that I might be able to do other things and not worry about it. But I don't know. You've then got to stop them from getting to 15 poor Islamist countries, and once they're at 6 resources, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm still just counting 10 at the moment, but and the thing is, a poor country going Islamist rule doesn't change that marker. So, but 10's not an awful far away from 15. But thing is, I don't know. Do their priorities? That could be the problem. Actually, I'm thinking that's yeah. Hold on here. If we're playing the solo game, yeah, I hadn't thought about this before. Surprised nobody's mentioned this. Their priorities in the flow chart are just still going to be the same. They're not going to register the fact that they've got the first win condition. They need to concentrate on the second and the third win condition, are they? So it kind of doesn't work. While they're going for the first win condition, yes, they're looking at that. I mean, that comes after that anyway, doesn't it? Not necessarily, but sort of does. And then the other one's the plot, the WMD plot in the US. So I think they're just going to keep plodding on and trying to do major jihads in other countries. But I don't know. Maybe it is okay. I'm not sure, actually. Right, okay. I think I need to leave it for the night, and I'll be back when I'm back for the next part. Okay, cheers.